In the conference room, the director of operations, a new hire who'd been parachuted in 3 months ago, pointed a laser at the PowerPoint slide and addressed the entire room. "The art department is a parasite on this company," he declared, his voice dripping with disdain. "A single character model takes you 2 weeks. An outsourced team can deliver it in 3 days." I lifted my head and met his gaze. "And you're sure the quality from an outsourced team would pass muster with our investors?" "Quality?" He let out a cold, sharp laugh. "Does our lead artist, Mr. Hayes, believe he's crafting priceless masterpieces that no one else can touch?" A few sycophantic chuckles echoed around the table. Our boss, Mr. Roberts, slammed his hand on the table. "The art department's budget is cut by half this month." I snapped my laptop shut, stood up, and walked out. At the door, I paused and glanced back at him. What he didn't know was that I held the source files to every single one of this company's blockbuster games. Leaning against the window in the hallway, I opened my phone. A message from the Apex Interactive HR rep, sent 3 days ago, was still sitting there, unread. "Liam, have you given our offer any more thought? We're ready for you whenever you are." I didn't reply. I just pocketed the phone. The elevator dinged open, and Lila stepped out. She froze for a second when she saw me. I'd mentored her personally, brought her up from a fresh-faced graduate 3 years ago, who could barely handle Photoshop. I didn't blame her for staying silent in the meeting just now. You have to protect your own job. But I'd seen her cozying up to Steven's clique for weeks. "Liam," she started. "What is it?" She bit her lip, her eyes darting away. "About the meeting just now, don't worry about it." I cut her off. "Everyone picks a side." I turned and walked back to my office. She remained rooted to the spot, her eyes welling up with tears. At 9 that night, the art department's group chat exploded. Steven had posted a new notice. Effective immediately, all overtime meal stipends and cab fare reimbursements for the art department are cancelled. Dave, one of the older modelers, typed a single question mark. "Steven, we often have to work until 11 or midnight. This is..." Steven's reply was instantaneous. "This company doesn't pay for dead weight. If you feel mistreated, you're free to resign." The chat went dead silent. I stared at my phone screen, then opened my notes app. I took a screenshot, logged the date, and saved it. That made 7. The next morning, Lila knocked on my office door. "Liam, Steven wants me to take over the character design for Shadowblade." I looked up at her. Shadowblade was the company's new $30 million project. I'd spent a solid month burning the midnight oil to perfect the main character design. "He said the original art is too dark, that the investors won't like it," she mumbled, avoiding my eyes. "He wants me to design a new version with a lighter, more accessible style." "Fine," I said. "Go ahead." She was clearly taken aback by how easily I agreed, staring at me for a full 2 seconds. "So, the source files? They're on the company server. Find them yourself." I looked back down at my monitor. She lingered for another moment before turning and leaving. What she didn't know was that the files on the server were all flattened exports. The real source files, with every layer, every group, every smart object intact, were on my portable hard drive. Without them, you couldn't even adjust the color palette, let alone make any meaningful changes. At noon, I headed downstairs to grab lunch from the convenience store. Just as I reached the main entrance, I saw Steven and Mark from marketing sharing a smoke. "That Liam Hayes has such a stick up his ass," Mark was saying, flicking ash onto the pavement. "Thinks he's untouchable just because he's been here forever." Steven took a long drag from his cigarette. "Don't worry, I'll wear him down. I'll have him crawling out of here on his own within 3 months." Mark laughed. "About time someone put those dinosaurs in their place." I stood just inside the glass doors, unseen, unheard. I turned around and headed back upstairs. The elevator was empty. My phone buzzed.